What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dutton Mindset Show. Today, we're going to be talking about this incident in Minnesota again. And I'll tell you what, there's some new angles and some things that we need to take a look at. Now, what I want you guys to understand is that no matter what your perspective is or what side of the aisle you land on, I try to be pretty bipartisan with things. I don't have a political affiliation. My opinions are completely my own. But I do want it to be known that there are some observations that should be taken at heed. And so what I want to do is I just want to take a look at the video that was released yesterday, the one that kind of created so much of a stir. Let's take a look at this. This is one of the first angles that we saw that really got people looking at it and saying, this is crazy, this is wrong. Let's take a look and see what that looks like right now. So again, as you can see here, right. So as you can see from that angle, like it's very clear that if we just pause here, right, this angle kind of puts you in a position where you're able to see the individual walking up to the door. You're able to see them try to say, pull out of the car. There's somebody screaming in the background. Now, the agent is in front, and you can't really get a good glimpse of that. But then all of a sudden, somebody starts pulling the trigger, and then you see the other agent emerge, right? And so, from first glance, you might be saying, "Well, this is murder, or whatever the case may be." But there's some new angles that have come out that show this thing from a different light, from the perspective of actually the agent. And so maybe it would give some perspective. Let's take a look at that and see what that looks like, and you guys can be the judge of it and just tell me what you think.
That's fine. U.S. citizens. You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, boy. Go ahead. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Yeah. Okay, so, that's a whole different perspective, right? If we just go ahead and just take this thing, let's take a look at it, right? So, first and foremost, you can see that this individual is here blocking the road, right? This is clearly this woman, despite her political affiliation, she's an agitator. She's agitating this. Why who parks in the middle of the road? You know what I mean? So there's the first thing. It's not really protesting. In addition to that, as we navigate this clip here, let's go ahead and just pause it here. Maybe we can. So right here, boom, he's obviously getting hit by the car. This is a 2-ton vehicle. That is, in the eyes of law enforcement as well as I think anybody else, the vehicle is known as a deadly weapon. So it's important to understand that. Really just a tragic situation to be in. But again, it just goes back to the fact that if law enforcement is having an investigation, like, you might not like it, but you shouldn't be interfering with that. And what I want to do is I want to bring up something that's really interesting. See, a lot of people, they're really upset by this right now. They have, they're in uproar, right? Particularly, liberals and whatnot. And again, as somebody who tries to stay pretty bipartisan in the middle, the point is here, these people are very upset. They're very upset, and I can get that. But just back in September or October, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And there was a lot of people on that side of the aisle who were not so sensitive. And the question is, why weren't they sensitive then? And why are they so upset now? These are two individuals who believed in what they believed in. These are two individuals who stood for what they stood for. And so the question is, what is it that they are doing? What's going on in the world that's keeping them from, being upset back then and now they're upset now. What's the difference? I want to play a quick clip for you so you can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about here. Viewer discretion is definitely advised on this one. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Rest in peace, Bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah.
Nothing to do with
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
I've never been happier.
I will not ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
And then I think this video goes on to show kind of like the conservative response to the situation. But the point is, right, is human life important or not? Or is it just important when it has something to do with your political ideology? I don't know. It seems like the answer is pretty clear. And so, it's never good to praise anybody's passing, right? It's never a good thing to laugh or joke or be grateful for. It's in poor taste, even if you don't agree with them. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, somebody that you had no idea who this person was and held no value to you whatsoever ends up shot because they impeded in federal investigation and then used a 4,000-pound car as a deadly weapon. Even if they just bumped the cop out of the way, when you use a vehicle to hit somebody, it's considered deadly force, and deadly force is usually met with deadly force. And so it's important to know that. Ultimately, there was a video that was dropped by the White House as well, which I think might be a pretty interesting video to kind of just end on a note, which, this is recently dropped here from the White House Instagram.
I saw this video. It didn't look like anybody got run over to me.
Based off what I'm seeing here, it really doesn't look like an ICE officer was run over.
You can see the video and see the agent wasn't run over.
We all saw the video. She didn't run over the officer.
This was clearly not with any sort of intention to run somebody over.
Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but it looks like she hit the gentleman with her car. So, I think that if ICE, for example, had been in the car and had run over a person, they would have created a bit of a stir about that. In fact, I've seen videos where people have created a stir about it. And again, not being on either side of the aisle with this one, right? That's the thing. A lot of people look at me as like this hard conservative, but the reality is I'm just a Christian, man, and I have Christian beliefs. And, what does that mean? Well, it means that I don't think that people should be killed. I think that, that is a commandment, right? They should not be murdered. But that does not mean that, you shouldn't defend yourself. I believe that pro-life is important. I believe that people should live like Christians. They should try to be a good person. I think that when they took the Bible out of schools and they took prayer out of schools, society, well, it took a tumble. And we'll talk about that on the next episode. But, it's important to just kind of look at the facts here and just make your own judgments. I know a lot of times a lot of misinformation gets passed around, so that's why I created this video, just so you can kind of make your own interpretation from the center. Obviously, tensions are high on both sides. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. So if you could help me out with that, hit the subscribe button, the bell, and, leave a comment. Just let me know what you think about the video. God bless you. Have an awesome day. And remember, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? If not you, then who? And if not now, then when? Let's take action on our life.